Hello and welcome back to Factorio C Block. Now that we have our nutrient pulp, we can finally move on to the next version of the farming stuff over here. Sorry, the tree farming stuff. I guess it's still farming. And for that, we need rubber. And then we need the follow-up for rubber, which is Desert Arboretum. That's going to be more or less the exact same build as it has been all along, or with all of these things. And so we're going to go ahead and start by grabbing a copy of this. And the Desert Arboretum is going to use the same fluids and things that the desert plants do. Spoiler alert there. So we can just start by throwing this in the same kind of place. I guess it comes down by one more. The same kind of place over here. We're going to bring in the, let's see, no, maybe right there, because I actually want to have this also here, at least. So we'll do that way. And then we can bring in the other things once it happens. You saw how fast rubbers went. Rubbers unlocked, by the way. I guess I should have shown it before I clicked it. Nope, rubbers. Unlocked rubber and insulated wire. So those are a couple things we won't use exactly right away. The rubber we will, but the insulated wire we won't need to use right away, but we'll have it available for us later when we do need it. And it's not one of the ones that I'm going to write down and save for later to show, because when we need the insulated wire for whatever we need insulated wire for, we could actually figure that out while we're waiting for the Arboretum. Insulated wire. Used for things to like... Wait a minute. Yeah, that's recycling. Beacons much later. Big electric poles, we'll eventually get to those. Mech legs. Not really anything we need anytime soon. It's only used in certain electrical things, which makes pretty obvious sense. But we don't need it right now. I do need to make a top-up valve, though. Let's do that. And those all got built because I had them in my pocket already, of course. But we need to change the recipes as soon as this other technology research is done here. There we go. Clear that. And then let's go... Wait a minute. Oh, not quite. I need to change this one to a desert tree seed generator. And that's going to, of course, have desert tree seeds. And you can see there, sand and saline. And then also here for the desert tree seed cultivation, desert tree cultivation, excuse me, needs sand and saline as well. So we can take those in like that. And we'll just bring these things in via belt, just like we've been doing the other things. Now, I've got myself in a little bit of a quandary here. How do I want to handle this? I think I'm going to actually take these out. Maybe a yellow one, that's fine. Take these out this way and then turn them. That's a little bit less insane. And I need to meet them up at this belt here at some point, somehow, some way. Which is making all of this a little bit insane. But I think what I can do is just change the route of this belt here a little. And by a little, I mean maybe a lot. And that can go like this maybe, and then we can do one of these numbers, and then that can come down like this. And that might help matters a bit. A little bit of spaghetti going on here, but what are you going to do? And then, let's go, another yellow one, sure, why not? Do that, this, and that. Then this can go up like that, and across here. And then you can meet up with your friend... that one. There. Nope. Still nope. All the nopes. There. And then, of course, we want to do a right filter with a red flag. A left filter with a red flag, rather, so that we don't... so we only merge them. That will do this, and then these will come out like this, and they'll go down to the next build there. This obviously needs to have power hooked up to it, so we'll go ahead and connect that up now. And you're complaining because you need to actually have a power pole somewhere in this vicinity. You can do that too. Because I could have just put it over here. And then not had to do this wasty thing. Okay, so that takes care of that. I do have some sand in my inventory now, so I'm going to go ahead and hand that in. And then we need to just tie in the saline water, either from this pipe here or from... whatever, and this pipe here is just fine. I'm just going to take it to here, and then I guess I can do that. There. How are you? Alright, fine. We'll just do it that way. You know, actually that's wasteful. That's extra wasteful, more wasteful than I want to be. I'm just going to do it this way. And then we'll just take this over to there and then take a pipe into there like that. And that takes care of the saline water. Takes care of the sand once we actually connect the sand up. That's here. Let's just split that here then. And that's fine. I think, no, it's got to come up here. Crap. In that case, maybe this goes... there. Maybe this goes this way. You go here. And then you can come down. This is obnoxious, but you can come down. Split here. And then you go back over this way. Obnoxiously. Again. Oopsie. Now I'm getting all kinds of sand in my inventory. It gets everywhere. Okay, and then let's just do this. To load that up. And then this is going to, of course, take a few moments to produce some seeds. But that will give us the same type of output as the other. We'll get a desert tree seed and, of course, a couple of trees. We'll use a desert tree seed to make 4 raw biorubber and a couple of tree seeds. Now, I've gone ahead and done a hell mod up for this one because we eventually want to get to those rubber pieces, sheets, whatever they are. And I want to still use our sort of test build or our test design here of 4 arboretums and 1 desert tree seed generator. That's a ratio, of course, but this could obviously scale much bigger. And it needs, you know, a handful of these to handle the providing of the sand and of the saline water, which we have that also, of course, wherever we have the... No, I guess it would be here if I had done the plan up all the way. Well, sort of do, because we had, of course, the saline here as well. So if we had broken this down into the next level, then we'd have those same numbers here. But suffice it to say, if we have this ratio, which is kind of good, we need a bit of stuff from all of this. It's going to have, obviously, you know, the surpluses that it would normally have with this build, but this kind of just tells me what fraction of each of these machines we're actually using to build this, to supply this thing. And that, you know, comes down to, well, we have 4 of these columns, so we have 4 of each of those machines. We don't need... We're okay with stealing a little bit of production from a little bit of one of these. We may or may not be making enough sand overall, but that'll be okay. We'll deal with that when we actually expand this out. So the next piece, of course, is to take the raw biorubber and mix it with some acetone gas to make liquid rubber. And we're going to do that in just one single liquefier. And then we're going to set up an assembly machine 2. Because we need a pipe input from the liquid rubber to make the solid rubber. So we're going to do that also. And so this comes down. We have a few of these made. Good. Good to see. I'm going to let that sit there for just a moment. We'll go ahead and put the liquefier over here next to this one, but maybe one away, just for reasons. And then we want to have, where are you at? Liquid rubber. We did the resin one. Let's do the liquid rubber here. I guess I could have pinned the thing. And we need acetone. And acetone is something that we are not yet making. We're making ethanol, and we're making acetic acid, but that's not acetone. So we need one of these to make the acetone. I'm going to put it there, question mark. And that'll, of course, come from one of these that we set up, we looked at the last time, glanced at the last time. So we're currently making the fuel oil and water out of nutrient pulp. We also have the option of nutrient pulp to make making into lesser amount of fuel oil, as well as acetone gas, and synthesis gas, which we don't know how to use yet. Or the third option here is nutrient pulp into acetone, ethanol, and butane. Well, we are already making ethanol via this method here. Actually, I kind of screwed that up. Kind of did. I might actually change this a bit. Move it out a bit, that is. I kind of screwed it up for what I want to do here. And we're going to actually do this one. Butane is useless for me right now, and the ethanol is a double up of this, but that just means that we don't have to use the corn to make the fermentation base to make ethanol. We can use the corn to make nutrient pulp, which we can also then, of course, use down there. And I didn't really do the math on which one is more efficient of the corn to ethanol ratio. But I think using this recipe kind of makes some more sense because it gives us a feel for what we're going to need. So unfortunately, acetone and ethanol have almost the exact same icon. But you can see that the acetone has the oxygen, which is the red dot, poking out the top a little bit. I think that's the red dot anyway. I think that's what oxygen is. So that's the one we want. But I want to, before we do that, I want to actually move this ethanol out to at least here, which means that I need to also move this one out to at least here. Which means that all these guys need to come out to at least here. I can just drop one of those in the middle, that's fine. And then I reconnect that, and I just wasted a bunch of this resin, but really, who cares? And then that goes in there, and you need to have the resin that's in my pocket. Oh, there's none in my pocket. Even better. But that's fine. We wasted a little bit of stuff, but it's basically free. So the ethanol, the acetone is the one with the oxygen popping out. So the first thing I want to do is actually hook up the ethanol. We'll hook that up there. We'll connect it up to this and this. But what I want to do is put in a valve here. This would be a top-up valve, which I think I need to make another one of. Yep. And that will make sure that we use the ethanol from here where we're making the acetone before we use it from this other recipe. Let's go there with it. And that will, of course, give us a prioritization of if the opposite side is less than 80%, then provide some of this in. And then we also will need, and I forgot to make these, a couple of these vents, because our primary purpose for this right now is going to be acetone, and this will become more clear later as to why. But that's the reason why we use this recipe, why we want this thing. So I want to actually put... ooh, that's not acetone. Over here is acetone. Do I want to do that? Do I care? Not for right now, I don't really. But I want to actually put not just a vent on the butane, which we don't know how to use yet, but I also want to put a vent on the ethanol. But I don't want the ethanol vent to always vent. I want the ethanol to vent only when it's appropriate to vent. So for that, I'm going to use a valve we haven't used yet, I don't think, an inspector valve. And the inspector valve is basically a 1,000 unit, as opposed to a 100 unit, mini tank in line here. And it allows me to connect a wire to it, and then I can connect it to a pump. Remember, we just unlocked pumps last time also, with the fluid handling, whatever that was called. I'm glancing for it here, and I'm not seeing what it was called right now. Fluid handling. There it is. So we unlocked that, and that actually used one of those engine units we made a little while back. So that's kind of a nice, timely use there. It's almost like I planned it. So we'll put one of those in here. And then I can tie that together with a red wire or a green wire. It really doesn't matter all that much. I'm just going to use red wire. I usually just use red wire and don't bother with the green. So we'll connect that up like that. And then this will read its value, of course, whatever the value is. Right now it's 801. And we want it to enable this pump whenever there are more than 900 units of... You could probably use the... anything, so that it's false when there are no inputs. We could probably do that. Anything greater than 900. And so basically I'm setting this as a 90% valve, whereas this one is an 80% valve. So it's topping up at 80%, it's overflowing at 90%. Then we stuff that over there, and that runs. Now, of course, it's at 80, because this isn't running anymore, and so this isn't filling anymore, passing through anymore, but that's because the acetone is full. And that's because this is a huge tank of 10 pipes value. So this gives us the acetone we need, and then we can just plug that in there, and we can run the belt back from here. Back. Like that. And then I want to also dump the rest of that sand off. That's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. Those will go in there. Slight change for later reasons. that well, you'll see next episode. That goes in there. This goes in here. And then we just need that 1 assembly machine 2. Drop that in there. We want to make rubber, which I don't remember what category it's in. Oh, it's in that one. That's where it would naturally be. And then we can connect that up, and we are making rubber sheets. Now, of course, as I mentioned, we get a nice creative first, but we don't actually need it right now. But we will need it eventually, and it'll be fine. When we get there, we'll have it. It'll be fine. I'm gonna actually put that power pole there. So we're gonna end this one here. It kind of just is another proof of concept. Okay, this is how we make rubber. We need to have, you know, the Desert Arboretums with the sand and the saline water feeding into them. We piece it in together with some acetone gas, and we make rubber. In the next episode, we will do the third and final one of these sets, which is the swamp biome, and that'll get us a form of plastic. So for that, we will take a look in the next episode. But for now, we're going to leave this here, and hope you are still enjoying following along in this series. And I will see you all next time. Bye for now.